What happened to Mercedes is completely bizarre and vicious. She endured the most evil pain.
I'm not going anywhere. Just like we've said for a long time, we're not going anywhere.
Everyone thought it was just another missing person case until the phone call came in. Marcedes Vaga vanished on a quiet Tuesday night in Tempe. No struggle, no witnesses, no signs of forced entry, just gone. Her car was still parked outside her apartment, keys sitting neatly on the kitchen counter like she had planned to come right back. But she didn't. At first, it didn't make sense. Marcedes wasn't the type to disappear. Friends described her as careful, routine-driven, someone who always texted back, always showed up. So when her phone went straight to voicemail for 24 hours straight, people started to worry. By day 3, the story spread across the city. Flyers went up. Social media posts flooded timelines. "Have you seen Marcedes?" became the question everyone was asking. Then something strange happened. A neighbor came forward. He claimed that around 2:17 a.m. the night she disappeared, he heard a door
Police
slam.
have released video of 4
unusual.
suspects wanted in a break-and-enter investigation in Scarborough. Police say the suspects entered a backyard in the Beach Grove Drive and Coronation area just before 2:30 a.m. yesterday and attempted to get into that home. 2 of them can be seen with handguns. The suspects were unable to get into the house and fled the area in a silver 4-door sedan. Anybody with information is asked to call police or Crime Stoppers.
Figure standing near Marcedes' apartment door. It didn't move for almost 3 full minutes. Just standing there, watching, then gone. No clear face, no license plate, nothing to identify who it was. But that clip of that one eerie moment changed everything. Because now this wasn't just a disappearance. This was something darker. And then came the call. Late that same night, Marcedes' sister received a voicemail from an unknown number. The voice was distorted, almost mechanical, but one sentence cut through clearly. She wasn't supposed to see it. That was it. No explanation, no follow-up, just silence again. What did Marcedes see? Who was that figure outside her door? And why did it feel like someone was trying to erase every trace of what really happened? Because the deeper. But here, where things take a turn that nobody saw coming. The police initially
That's near
treated it
Trafalgar
like
and
a
Lakeshore. Just
routine
after
missing
11
person
last night,
case.
police say the
Another
suspects
young
forced their way
woman
into
who
the
maybe
home
left town,
and a luxury
maybe
vehicle
needed
was stolen.
space,
One person's
maybe
been treated
would
for
turn
minor
up in a
injuries. At
few
this point,
days.
no arrests
But
have
something
been
didn't
made.
sit right. Not with her family, and definitely not with the one detective who refused to let it go. Because Marcedes Vaga didn't just disappear, she vanished midlife. Her phone found. Her car still parked. Her apartment completely untouched, like she had just stepped out for a minute and never came back. And then came the first real clue. A neighbor reported hearing something the night she went missing. Not screams, not a struggle, just one strange, sharp sound like something heavy hitting the floor, and then silence. That's when investigators started digging deeper. They pulled security footage from nearby buildings. At first, nothing unusual, people walking dogs, cars passing by, normal city life. But around 10:47 p.m., a shadow appears near the entrance of Marcedes' building. Not clear enough to identify, but clear enough to confirm one thing. She wasn't alone that night. And it gets worse. Because when detectives tracked Marcedes' last known messages, they found something chilling. Just hours before she disappeared, she sent a text to a close friend. "I think I made a mistake." No context, no explanation. Just that. A mistake. So what was it? Who was she talking about? And why does it feel like someone wanted that message to be the last thing she ever said? Because the deeper investigators go, the more it starts to look less like a disappearance and more like something carefully planned. And trust me, the next clue they uncover, it changes everything. And just when investigators thought they were starting to piece things together, the case took a darker turn.
just
Because
hours
that
away.
mistake Marcedes texted about.
Still can't believe
It wasn't random.
what she went through.
Detectives finally got access to her laptop, and what they found on it
scared she
raised
must
serious
have been.
questions. Files
This
had
is
been
where Vaga,
deleted
just
recently,
22, was found
not
in a
weeks
burning
ago,
car, April
not months,
17th, 2023.
hours.
The car,
Someone
a
had
white
tried to
Chevy
wipe
Malibu,
something clean,
was not her own.
but they missed a
Mystery of what happened
fragment,
here and who was
a
allegedly
single
involved,
recovered document,
taking
half
years to
corrupted,
unravel.
barely
This is
readable.
just
At first,
hopefully
it looked
making
like
this a
nonsense.
place of peace
Random
instead
notes,
of,
broken sentences, until
the
one line stood out.
horrific,
I wasn't
incidents
supposed
that
to
went
record
on.
this.
To understand the story
Record
behind
what?
this crisis ended up at the
That
scene,
one sentence
along with first
changed the
responders.
direction of
appears
the
to be a
entire
dead person in the
investigation.
vehicle.
Vega's own
Because
car
now it
was found
wasn't
about a
just
mile
about
from
who
her
took
gated Tempe
Marcedes.
apartment. Her
It
family
was about what
hoping
she
they
had.
would get answers quickly.
Police brought
But 8
in
months
digital
passed
analysts
with
to
little
dig deeper
information.
into her devices.
Vega's parents,
that's when they
Erica and
discovered
Tom
something
Pillsbury,
even more
along with
unsettling.
friends, speaking out in
Just
November
before she
2023,
disappeared,
while
Marcedes
dealing
had
with the
accessed an
immense
audio
weight.
file. A file that no longer existed on her system. But the metadata didn't lie. It had been played multiple times that same night, over and over again, like she was trying to understand something, or maybe confirm what she was hearing. So investigators traced it. Where did the file come from? And that's when a name surfaced. Not publicly released, not shared with the media, but internally it triggered alarms. Because this wasn't just some random contact. This was someone connected to a situation that had already been buried once before. Something quiet. Something no one was supposed to reopen. And suddenly, Marcedes' disappearance didn't feel isolated anymore. It felt connected, like she had stumbled into something bigger than she realized, something people would do anything to keep hidden. And remember that shadow caught on camera. Yeah, investigators went back to that footage with enhanced tools. And this time, they noticed something they missed before. The figure wasn't just standing there. They were waiting. Waiting like they knew exactly when Marcedes would be inside. Like this wasn't chance. This was planned. So now the question isn't just who took her. It's who knew her routine well enough to predict her every move, and why. Because what detectives uncover next, it doesn't just expose a suspect. It exposes a secret that was never meant to come out. If you're ready for part 4, where we reveal the hidden connection between Marcedes and that mysterious audio file, and how it links to a past incident no one talks about, make sure you subscribe and check the full story on the channel. And this is where everything starts to connect in a way that feels too precise to be coincidence. Because when investigators dug into that hidden connection tied to the missing audio file, they found something buried deep in old records, an incident that barely made headlines and was quickly forgotten. A late-night disturbance report from months earlier. Same area, same street, same building. But here's the part that sends chills through everyone working the case. Marcedes' name was in that report. Not as a victim, not as a suspect, but as a witness. According to the file, she had reported hearing a heated argument coming from a nearby unit. Voices raised, something breaking. Then again, that same eerie silence. Police responded, knocked, but no one answered. The case was dismissed as a noise complaint. Closed, forgotten. Except it was. Because the more detectives compared timelines, the clearer it became. Whatever Marcedes heard that night didn't end there. It followed her. Now remember that line from the recovered document. I wasn't supposed to record this. That's when investigators revisited the building's internal security system. Not the street cameras this time, but inside. Hallways, elevators, entry logs. And after hours of scanning footage, they found it. A clip from that earlier night. Blurry, low quality, but undeniable. Marcedes, standing in the hallway, holding her phone up, recording. But she wasn't alone. At the far end of the corridor, a door creaks open, and someone steps out. The footage cuts right there. No face, no clear identity. But what matters is this. She saw something, and she recorded it, which means that missing audio file. It wasn't random. It was evidence. Evidence that someone clearly didn't want to exist anymore. And now everything begins to make sense. The deleted files, the strange voicemail, the figure waiting outside her apartment. This wasn't about opportunity. This was about silence. Someone believed Marcedes had something dangerous, and they were right. But here, where it gets even more intense, because investigators finally identified a person of interest tied to that old incident. Someone who lived in the same building at the time. Someone who moved out suddenly, just weeks after that report. And someone whose name quietly appeared in Marcedes' call logs days before she disappeared. Multiple times. Late-night calls, short duration, no messages. Almost like they were checking something, or making sure she hadn't said anything. When police tried to locate this person, they were gone. No forwarding address, no active phone, nothing. Like they had prepared for this moment long before it ever happened. And now, for the first time, detectives weren't just looking for a missing woman. They were hunting someone who had already covered their tracks. But here's the part that truly changed the case forever. Because just when it seemed like all leads were going cold, a new piece of evidence surfaced. Something no one expected. And it didn't come from the police. It came from Marcedes herself. Stay with me, because part 5 is where things take a turn that nobody, and I mean nobody, saw coming. But days after the investigation stalled, Marcedes' sister made a discovery that completely shook the case. It wasn't in her apartment. It wasn't on her phone. It was hidden somewhere no one thought to look. An old cloud backup account. One that Marcedes barely used. Or at least, that's what everyone thought. Inside it were only 3 files. 2 photos, nothing unusual. And 1 audio recording. The file that was supposed to be gone. The one investigators couldn't recover. It was there the whole time. Timestamped just hours before Marcedes disappeared. When her sister played it, she froze. At first, it's just background noise. Faint movement, a door closing, then voices. Low tense. One voice clearly Marcedes. The other unrecognizable. But what they were saying, that's what made everything real. You weren't supposed to keep that. I didn't think it was this serious. A pause. Then footsteps. Closer. And then silence. The recording cuts abruptly. No scream, no struggle. Just that same silence that keeps showing up in every piece of this case. But now, investigators finally had something real. A confrontation. Proof that Marcedes came face to face with whoever had been watching her, whoever had been calling her, whoever was standing outside her door that night. And suddenly, the case wasn't cold anymore. It was active. Dangerously active. Because now the question wasn't just what happened to Marcedes Vaga. It was this. If someone went this far to erase one recording, what else are they hiding? And how far are they willing to go to make sure the truth never comes out? If you want part 6, the final part, where we break down what investigators believe really happened that night and the chilling theory that's dividing everyone following this case, make sure you subscribe and check the full story on the channel.